Good morning, friends. Good morning, good morning. I'm just gonna, as ever, on the Self-Made Wealth Show. By the way, this is episode number 17, I believe. This is Ben Martin coming to you live from Exuma in the Bahamas. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, Nick. Good morning, Arvin. Good morning, Curtis. If this is your first time on the show, just tap newbie in the chat for me. Just tap newbie in the chat. Let me know your name and let me know where you are in the world. So I'm just going to show you the view from my office this morning while we let people filter in. It's a little breezy this morning by the ocean, but it's beautiful. As ever, it's beautiful. So I see another few people jumping on. Welcome to the Self-Made Wealth Show. If this is your first time on the show today, we're going to be addressing the topic, is your glass half full or half empty? So stick around. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of value from the show today. And as I say, if you're new to the show, let me know your first name, type your first name and where you are in the world in the chat. Let me know where you are. And if you feel like it, let me know how you found me. Did you find me through hashtags? Did you find me because you searched for me on Periscope? How did you come to find me? I'm interested to know this morning. So just gonna make my way back to, so Curtis is in Vancouver, Canada. Awesome. Cool. What about the rest of you? Where's everybody else at? Gonna flip the screen around real quick. And let's see who we've got. Catherice, hey Catherice, how's it going? Whereabouts in the world are you, Catherice? By the way, as well, if you are new to the show, real quick before we dive in today, this is a Self-Made Wealth Show. My name is Ben Martin. I'm coming to you live from Exuma, Bahamas. And as I always say, I'm not here to show you how to get rich quick. I'm here to show you how to get wealthy forever. Any idiot can make fast money, but it's not what it's all about. The real smart people play the long-term game. They're in this to get wealthy forever. And these are the strategies and the mindset and the tips and tricks and secrets that I'm here to share with you on my show. So if you came here looking for a way to make $1 million overnight, then you're on the wrong show. If you came here because you want to know how to build a solid 6, 7 or 8 figure business like I have, I've built a multiple 6-figure business on the internet, then you landed in the right place. So who's excited this morning to hear some tips? Who's excited to hear some tips? Just double tap the screen. By the way, if you don't use Periscope, every time you double tap the screen or every time you tap the screen, you give these things called hearts, right? And your hearts is just your way of showing appreciation, just your way of showing that, yeah, I'm getting a lot of value from what I'm hearing. Either that, or you can speak to me, but you can speak to me through the chat. I love to chat to you guys, and I love to get your perspective on everything. Okay, so I want to start off the show by asking you the question. The topic of this Periscope is this: is your glass half full or half empty? And I want to ask you that question to begin with this morning. What's your... Oh yeah, cheers for reminding me as well, Arvin. If you feel that any of your Twitter followers would get value from the show today, then underneath where you see my face, there should be an option to share depending on what type of cell phone you're on. Maybe a symbol in the bottom right hand corner that you can press. Go ahead and share this with your Twitter followers if you feel that this is a topic they're going to get a lot of value from. But let me start off by asking you the question this morning. What's your outlook on life? Are you the type of person who has a glass half empty outlook, or do you have a glass half full? Thanks for the share, Catherine. I appreciate that. I appreciate you turning up. I appreciate you sharing this with your followers. So what's your outlook on life? Are you somebody who sees your glass as half empty, or are you more of a person who sees your glass as half full? Let me know in the chat before we continue. Just type in half empty guy or girl, or half full guy or girl? Let me know. What am I dealing with this morning? What type of mindset am I dealing with in you guys this morning? Well, awesome. I absolutely love that response, Catherine's. Catherine's just said she lives in a world of abundance. I freaking love that. And you know something? There's something about even saying those words that does something powerful inside of me. World of abundance. Curtis and Arvin are saying half full. Awesome. Because, by the way, if you've got a pen, here's some words that you may want to write down this morning. And if you don't have a pen, that's okay. You can watch the replay and make notes, but make a mental note right now. Some words we're gonna talk about this morning. Abundance. We're gonna talk about perspective, outlook on life, and resources. Those are 4 important words this morning. Abundance, perspective, outlook on life, and resources. The person who has the glass half empty mentality is always looking around in life and focusing. There's another word this morning. Focus. Is always focusing on their lack. They're always focusing on what they don't have. That's all they concentrate on. When you've got a glass half full mentality, all you focus on is your lack. All you focus on is what you don't have. And you know something? Guess what happens when you focus on your lack and what you don't have? Guess what happens? Anybody take a stab in the dark? What happens? When your mind focuses on lack and what you don't have, what do you think happens to that type of person? Hopefully you guys can, following this, you're getting a feeling for where I'm going to go this morning. Yeah, Arvin, you attract more of it. Whether you believe in God, whether you believe in the universe, whether you believe in absolutely nothing, I am just telling you this morning from experience, not from something I read on Wikipedia, as I always say, but from eating it, sleeping it, living it and breathing it. I'm telling you from experience that when you have that pessimistic mentality. Morning, Dave, how are you? Appreciate Dave is a real regular on the show, is a rock star. Appreciate you jumping on this morning, Dave. We're talking about is your cup half full or half empty, Dave? And we're just talking about right now that people who have a half empty cup mentality focus on their lack, they focus on what they don't have, and because of that, they attract more of what they focus on. And maybe, at various stages in life, I guess we all go through times where we are a little bit pessimistic. 5 or 6 years ago, I was extremely pessimistic. All I could ever focus on was, why is my life so bad? Why are these bad things always happening to me? And because of that, bad things kept happening to me. Now, let me share a story about that. Not to do with me, but to do with a good friend of mine. I'm not going to mention names, but this is an important story. Once I worked through that kind of poor mindset in my life, I started to have success in my business. I started to, make, 5K in 2 days, 10K a month, 11K a month. I started to, attract success, attract money, and attract the choices that brings. But same time as I worked through that, I had a friend, right? And God rest her soul, his mother died of cancer. Now, when she died of cancer, she'd already lived 15 years longer than the doctor said, and she'd beaten cancer 2 or 3 times already before it finally caught up with her. So she'd lived 15 years longer than medically they told her she would. She was an awesome lady. But my friend's mother was his world. He didn't have much of a dad growing up. His mother was his world. And when his mother died, he took it really badly. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Grief is a healthy, natural part of life. But what my friend did was this. he began telling himself, and not just telling himself, but he would regularly say it out loud, why is it that good things happen to bad people? Bad things happen to good people, sorry. Bad things happen to good people. Anybody ever heard that saying? Why is it that, bad things happen to good people? You ever heard anybody say that before? Just double tap the screen or give me a yes or no if you've heard that saying before. That kind of mentality that bad things happen to good people. You ever... Hey Sasha, great to have you on the show this morning. Thanks for connecting with me on Twitter and Facebook earlier today. Great to have you here. Yeah, so Catherine is saying, yeah, she's heard this mentality before, and it's a horrible mentality to see. Now, I watched that mentality destroy my friends. You see, he had everything going for him. He was driving a brand new Audi. He had a great job. He had an awesome girlfriend, and he had a great social life. Intelligent guy. But I watched that mentality destroy my friend. He became depressed. He got hooked on drugs. He lost his job. He had to sell his car. And even to this day, because he has the mentality that bad things happen to good people, he is still doing drugs. He's still single. He's still got barely a penny to his name. That mentality, that pessimistic mindset, that glass half empty, focusing on what you don't have instead of focusing on what's within your power, what you do have, has destroyed his life. And now he's still alive, and while he's still alive and breathing, and this is the good news, if you're alive and breathing this morning, you have an opportunity to turn everything around starting today. But you've got to, at the very least, switch your mindset from thinking my glass is half empty and switch it to a glass is half full mentality. Now I'm going to throw a little, we call it a spanner in the works in the UK. It's like, I'm going to turn that on its head this morning. I don't have a glass half empty or a glass half full mentality. That's not my mentality whatsoever. My mentality in life is this. Now, I'm not an overly religious person. I do come from a church background. My mum and dad took me to church as a baby. But even though I don't go to church anymore, something came to me this morning. There's a little phrase. Now, don't tune out, by the way, if you're not religious or anything. Just see this for what it is, just for a second. But there's a little scripture in the Bible where the writer of a particular psalm says, "My cup runs over." In other words, what he says is, my cup in life is so full that it runs over. My cup isn't half empty or half full. I have so much abundance that it's running over. My cup is spilling over. Is that making sense this morning? That's my mentality as a person and as an entrepreneur. My cup isn't half empty. It's not half full. My cup is, I have so much abundance at my fingertips, within my grasp, in my life, that my cup's spilling over. Is that making sense to you this morning? If you agree with that and it's making sense, say, making sense to me, this is really good stuff. Let me know in the chat or double tap the screen. Awesome, so I can see some people double tapping that screen. Cool. Catherine is giving me the hearts. Arvin, Sasha's giving me the hearts. Dave's giving me the hearts. Making sense. Awesome. Yeah, great way to look at it, Dave. And I come from a place truly where there was a time in my life where I was so depressed that I contemplated suicide. I really did. I was down and out for the count. You could have called me Humpty Dumpty. I was in so many pieces, emotionally, spiritually, financially, that I never thought that I could put myself together again. But listen, let me show you this view. Let me show you this view one more time, real quick. When you change your thinking, my friends, when you change the way you see the world around you changes. Now look at what I'm looking at this morning. There was a time in my life where I used to sit in a bedroom, depressed, all on my own, in a dimly lit room, looking out at a concrete high-rise jungle. And now, because I changed the way I think, because I changed my mentality from a glass half empty to cup overrunning with abundance, look at what I get to look at every day. People say that it's not important what you focus on. Well, I'm telling you, the difference between myself and 98% of people out there who are going through the struggle is that I focus on my abundance rather than my lack, and that is the only difference. There are entrepreneurs out there who are smarter than me. There are entrepreneurs out there who, it would seem, have more natural gifting than me, but what you lack in smarts and what you lack in natural gifting, you can make up with positive thinking. And not just positive thinking, because sitting on a beach doing nothing all day doesn't make you money in your business, despite what people tell you. But when you combine positive thinking with hard work and determination, anything is possible. Anything is possible, Don't tell me that, the sky's the limit, because men have walked on the moon, as one famous writer said. Anything is possible in your life if you focus on the right things and you combine that with hard work, smart work, and determination. Now, I want to tell you another story. I don't want to keep you for long this morning. This is just meant to be a short Periscope today, but for the last 12 months, thanks to the fact that we run two multiple six-figure business on the internet, myself and Angie have been able to live in the Bahamas. Now, for 12 months since we got here, this is a story, by the way, about using your resources. And I'll get to the point in a minute. But for 12 months, we've been talking about how we would like to buy a grill. Last summer in the US, we were grilling every day. We were grilling every day outside. It was awesome. Since we've come here, we've not grilled outside. And the reason is, we've not been sure whether we're going to stay here long term or move, and we didn't want to go out and buy a grill and then leave it behind. Now, of course, money isn't the issue, but we just didn't want to leave a grill behind and let it rot. So, anyway, yesterday, what I decided to do is, I decided to start looking around our backyard, and I found some rocks, some big rocks. I built a makeshift fire pit. Now, it just so happens that underneath the house, because our house is up on stilts, underneath the house, there was a piece of wire meshing that kind of resembled what you'd use to grill on a proper barbecue. And I pulled out this wire meshing, and it just so happened that this wire meshing was a perfect fit to lay nicely across the top of these rocks, so I could start a fire and do some outside grilling. Now you may be thinking, well, what does building a makeshift grill and grilling food outside have to do with, what you're talking about today? Well, everything, my friends, everything. You see, there are many people, right, who sit at home and they think to themselves, if only I had more money, if only I could buy that other course I saw on JVZoo, if only I could invest in that mentor, if only I could do this, if only I could do that, if only I could have more of this. They're focusing on what they don't have instead of tapping into the resources that they already have. Yesterday, just by searching around my backyard for 10 minutes, I was able to build a grill. So I've spent the last 12 months wishing I had a grill, when everything I needed to get to where I wanted was already in my possession. I just needed to tap into the resources that were already there. Is this still making sense to you this morning? Yes or no? If you're getting value from this, double tap the screen, let me know in the chat. Yes, I'm seeing the big picture here this morning. So yeah, it's kind of a funny story, Dave, but it's a true story. And we're I'm able to grill everything. You see, my friend, everything you need, whether you have $1 to your name right now or not, whether you're living on the streets or whether you're living in a palace, everything you need for this moment in time, for where you are on the journey right now, is already in your possession. You don't need to go buy any more products from JVZoo just so they can gather virtual dust in your email inbox. You don't, my friends. You just need to implement what you already have. You need, and being an entrepreneur is all about being resourceful. Let me show you my makeshift office. You'll laugh at this. You'll laugh at this, but this is the way I am. Look, I don't have any tripod here. This is what I use to, use the resources around you, Cathris. Exactly. And now look, I use the resources around me all day. The beach is my office. My bag is my tripod. This plastic chair is what I sit on. This wall is what my makeshift tripod rests on. I don't have a fancy tripod. I don't have a fancy office. I'm outside. I'm constantly using the resources I've got around me. Now, I want to ask you a question, and I'm wondering, is anybody honest enough to answer? What's one resource that you have in your possession right now that you're not tapping into enough? Is anybody brave enough to say this morning? Is anybody brave enough to say? Because I'll share one. One resource that I have that I don't tap into enough is my ability to take things that other marketers make complicated and simplify. I'm very good at simplifying complicated things in a way that you can understand, and that's something I need to tap into more, which is why I started doing these periscopes. But I'm interested in, what is it you have in your possession right now? Name one resource you have right now that you need to tap into more, because the truth is, friends, it's money and time, and wherever you are on the journey right now, it is not the deciding factor between whether you become successful or not. So Dave's saying making videos, Sasha's saying Periscope, awesome. Periscope and videos are super, super powerful ways of connecting with people. So what I want to say to you, my friend, is then, in the words of Nike, just do it. Yeah, network of friends, Catherish. Most of the income I generate comes from my existing network. A lot of the time, people will major on in this industry, you need to get more traffic, or you need to get more leads. Well, that's true, you do need traffic and leads, but sometimes, just like everything else, you need to tap into the network you've already got. In the last few months, people will always come to me, this just came to me, people will always come to me and they'll say, Ben, you only have just under 3,000 friends on Facebook and you don't have a big following anywhere. How is it you've able to generate multiple six figures? Well, it's because I tap into my existing network. So that was an awesome tip by Kath Rees. Your Facebook friends list is a gold mine. Seriously, it's a gold mine. If you would just tap into that one resource alone over the next 30 days, I bet you could make 5 to 10K just from your existing Facebook friends list. If you tap into it in the right way, you share value, you concentrate on building the relationship and solving problems. It's more than possible. You need to today. You need to do this. You need to start where you are, start with what you have, and focus on what you can do. Start where you are, use what you have, and focus on what you can do. Don't worry about the things that are outside of your control. Listen, you can't change the destination you're in overnight, but you can change your direction. You can't change the destination you're in overnight, but you can change your direction. You can change your thinking. So stop focusing on what you don't have. Start to tap into your resources that are at your possession. Get creative. A lot of people are coming with the attitude like they're in a desert with no water, when all the time the well is under their feet. They just need to dig a little deeper. If you feel like you're in a desert this morning, dig a little deeper, friends. Dig deep, because the water is right under your feet. Are you feeling thirsty this morning? Are you thirsty for success? Well, the water's under your feet, my friend. It may look like you're in a desert all around you, but the oasis is under your feet. Just start digging. But you know, that's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem. Ben, you're asking me to dig. That involves hard work. That involves sweat. That involves physically using these hands. I got into this to get rich overnight. Well, my friend, more the fool you. Totally agree about your network, says Lydia. Constantly being bombarded by the next big lead generator. Exactly. And that's why I only focus on a couple of social media platforms. I focus on Facebook, Twitter, and Periscope. I focus on building my network there. I'm not interested in the next shiny ball. Been there, done that, got the badge, got the t-shirt and sold it on eBay using DSD, my friend. You know, I'm not interested in all these new shiny balls because everything I have is already within my grasp. Now, I'm not saying there aren't helpful products that are out there that you could invest in, because there are, but at least implement what's already in your inbox before you do that, right? Stop looking for the answers. Stop looking for that magic bullet. My friend, the oasis is under your feet. You gotta dig, you know. And you know, if you're in a tough situation right now, if you're in a tough situation, if you find yourself in a big hole in life right now, know this, and I say this from the heart with love, but know this: it was your thinking and your actions that put you in that hole. And you know, it took hard work and dedication to get yourself in that hole. So why do you think that you can skip the hard work and dedication if you want to get out of that hole, my friends? You can't. It took hard work and dedication to doing nothing to get in the hole. Now you got to dedicate yourself to hard work and daily action to get out of that hole. But again, let me say it one more time: you have everything you need at your fingertips. You know, it's okay. Sometimes people look at me and they think, you're in the Bahamas, Ben. That, you know, it's okay for you saying that. Friend, listen, there was a time where I had nothing because I put myself in that situation. I had to go 2-3 days at a time without eating to get myself out of that situation. I had to make sacrifices. And I'm going to say this to you, because one big excuse I hear all the time is, well, I don't have the money to invest in my business. Well, listen, are you sitting on a sofa this morning watching this Periscope? Then you have the money, go sell your sofa. Are you laying on a bed at night? Then you have the money, go sell your bed. This is just tough love. You're thinking, well, you're telling me to do this, Ben. I bet you never did it. Really? I did these things, my friends. I sold my possessions on eBay because I realized that I had to make some short-term sacrifices for long-term gain. I was prepared to sacrifice immediate comfort for long-term freedom. Are you prepared to do that this morning? Are you prepared to do that? Do you want it? Do you want it bad enough? Because it all depends on your perspective on life, what you're focusing on, and whether you have this abundant mentality or scarcity mentality. I don't think I really need to say too much more to you this morning, my friends. My voice is getting sore, and I want to keep this Periscope relatively short, but I'm going to ask you to do me a few things right now. If you got value from this Periscope, give me some hearts. You know, share this with your Facebook and Twitter followers. Share it with your Twitter followers by pressing the share button. If you're not following me already, then follow me, because I do these Periscopes every day at the same time, Monday to Friday, and I always give away lots and lots of free value. Remember, this is not about get rich quick. This is about getting wealthy forever. I'm here to show you what's working for me now so that you can implement it into your business. Appreciate that, Arvin. Appreciate that, Caffreys. Great to have all the newbies to the show this morning. Also, you know, if you're not following me on Twitter, come connect with me on Twitter and Facebook. I got a lot of value going on there too. One last thing. If you'd like a free gift this morning, go to free7daybootcamp.com. And I've got a 7-part mini training series. I'll send you 1 video per day for the next 7 days, and I'll share with you exactly what I'm doing right now to generate multiple 6 figures on the internet from wherever I choose in the world. And I'll finish by showing you the view one more time. And once again, appreciate you turning out this morning. I know that your time is precious, and I just appreciate you giving me 20 to 30 minutes of your time. Yeah, that's free7daybootcamp.com, Arvin. You can type that into your web browser and claim your free gift. If you have any problem grabbing it, hit me up on Twitter or Periscope, let me know, and I'll send it directly to you. Once again, thanks for turning up. I'll see you tomorrow on the Self Made Well Show.